Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For Monday's dinner, I made a cheesy, garlic, and Parmesan spinach spaghetti squash. I've been on a huge spaghetti squash kick here lately, and this was so delicious. I will be showing you how I did it in just a few seconds, and I will definitely leave the recipe below. Since Josh and the kids will not even try spaghetti squash, I let them pick what they wanted, and they said pizza, so I just made this Kroger brand one, and they really seemed to like it, so I'll definitely be rebuying it. For Tuesday's dinner, I made Salisbury steak. This is another family favorite, and I'm going to show you the process of that, and I will also leave the recipe in the description box. So pretty simple to make, and I served it with some homemade mashed potatoes, and I spooned some of that gravy over top of it with some green beans and rose. For Wednesday's dinner, I made a sheet pan meal, so I just trimmed off all the fat on the pork chops, and I had a cookie sheet that I put tinfoil on and sprayed with some olive oil, and then I just laid my pork chops on the cookie sheet. And then I sprayed some more olive oil spray on them and seasoned them with some homemade adobo seasoning, which I can link in the description box. And I just flipped those over and seasoned the other side. For the potatoes, I use this Little Potato Company brand of baby potatoes. And I just drizzled some olive oil on top of them. And I seasoned them up with some garlic salt and some pepper. And I just gave everything a good toss. I cooked the pork chops and potatoes at 425 for 15 minutes. I pulled the sheet out and added some fresh broccoli, and I just sprayed some olive oil on it and seasoned that with salt and pepper. And then I just popped it back in the oven for 15 more minutes. I just love sheet pan meals. They are so easy to clean up, and plus you don't have to worry about having all these different things cooking at the same time. You just throw it in the oven, set your timer, and forget about it. On Thursday, I made a bean dip. I've made this several times for parties and get-togethers, and it's always a favorite. And I will be leaving all the recipes to everything that I make in this video in the description box so that you can get the exact measurements if you're interested. I made steak quesadillas to go with it. I just have these thin steaks that I sliced into little strips, and I cooked it in a little olive oil and seasoned it with some Steak and Shake seasoning. I just melted a little butter in my pan, and then I added my tortillas in, some cheese, and I just put some steak on each one. And then I added a little bit more cheese on top of it, and then I just closed those up, cooked them for a couple minutes, and then flipped them over and cooked a couple more minutes. I just cut the quesadillas in half, and then I served them with some of this cheese dip that I melted. And I have some of these tortilla chips, just the Kroger brand, to dip in the bean dip. And that was Thursday dinner. On Friday, I made a really small pot of soup beans. Boston and I are the only ones that'll eat them, so I just rinsed my beans under some cold water, threw them in my pot, and I put in a slice of bacon cut up, and then I covered it with water by about 2 or 3 inches, and I just brought that up to a boil, and then I popped a lid on, and I lowered my heat, and I let it cook for 2 hours. I made a little skillet of cornbread to go along with the soup beans, and I let my cast iron skillet preheat in the oven so that I could melt my butter in it and just swirl that all around, and then I poured my batter in and baked it. Once my soup beans were done, I seasoned them with salt and pepper. I made BLTs for Josh and Riley, and for the side, I made some crushed potatoes. All I did was boil some of those baby potatoes from earlier in the week that I had left over, and I put those on a parchment-lined cookie sheet once they were tender, and I crushed them down with a fork, and I made a little garlic olive oil mixture, and I just put that on each potato and then sprinkled them with some Parmesan cheese, and I popped them underneath my broiler for about 5 minutes. I served the soup beans and cornbread with spinach, and I put a few of those crushed potatoes on my plate. And I did forget to add salt and pepper to the potatoes, so I did that after they came out of the oven. And with my soup beans and cornbread, I like to crumble up my cornbread and let all of the liquid absorb. And sometimes I'll even put some ketchup on it, but I didn't today because I didn't want to add all the sugar. On Saturday, I made crock pot cracked chicken sandwiches, and all I did was put 2 chicken breasts in my crock pot, and I sprinkled it with some ranch seasoning mix, and I put a block of cream cheese on top and cooked it on low for 4 hours. And once that was about done, I made some waffle fries. I use this Alexia brand seasoned waffle fries. They're so good. And I put them in my air fryer at 400 for 15 minutes. I also fried up some bacon and let that drain to the side on some paper towels. And here is what it looks like after the 4 hours. I took 2 forks and shredded it all together and then gave it a good stir, and this is what it looks like. And then I added some cheese and some crumbled bacon to it and just put my lid on, and I let that all melt. And then I served it on hamburger buns, and I served it with the fries and pickles. And guys, I love this recipe so much. I have served it at parties before, and I just made a big old batch of it, and I served it on little Hawaiian rolls, and everyone loved it. On Sunday, we went to a friend's house and grilled out some hot dogs, and I brought some crock-pot mac and cheese. And that ends this week. I hope that you all enjoy the video. If you haven't already, you should definitely hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!